Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I'm LJ, if you're new to my channel. So today's video is all about concealer, okay? So I'm getting in depth about the use of concealer. Concealer can be used in so many different ways, and we're gonna cover all that in this video today. So I'm guessing this is becoming a series on my channel. I'm gonna say it's a series where I'm breaking down little aspects of makeup. So the first video I did was for base before putting on foundation. Then the other video was how to match your foundation, like how to get that perfect match. And today we're going to be discussing concealer because there's so many different ways you can use concealer. Hopefully for those of you guys who are struggling with like concealer, spot correcting, or you just don't know like the use of concealer and how to use it, I hope this video is helpful. But I do want to put a disclaimer out there in this video that I'm not really saying like this is how you should wear your makeup or this is what you should do. These are just tips that are meant to be like helpful and hopefully useful to some people who just don't know, or some people who do know but they didn't like specifically know a certain thing within the video. You can pick up like one or two tips that maybe work for you. If they don't work for you, totally fine. Like you could totally try a different technique. But this video is just an informative video, so I hope you guys enjoy it. So without further ado, we're gonna get into the video. But if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and join the LJ family. Also hit the bell so you're always notified of a new upload. So without further ado, let's get into the video.
KLJ, welcome to a channel where it's poppin'. Welcome to a YouTube.
Alright, so I wanted to make this video to go more in depth about concealer because I feel like concealer is very complex. Concealer doesn't just have one purpose. It has like multiple purposes. I mentioned it in my makeup for beginners video, but I didn't go in depth and demonstrate the different purposes of concealer and how you can use it. So the first thing concealer can be used for is color correcting, or you can call it spot correcting. So color correcting is basically supposed to cancel out any dark areas on your skin. So if you have like discoloration, dark marks, under eye like bags, under eye circles on your eyes, acne, blackheads, anything dark around your skin or redness around your skin that is kind of like a different color than your actual skin tone. So there's many different shades for color correcting, and you want to be sure to use the right thing for the right purpose. So everybody's skin is different, and whatever your skin needs are, you want to make sure that you're correcting it based on those needs. So I'm gonna go over three main color correcting shades that I usually use. So the first shade is usually like a peachy color. So it's not like orange, but it's like a little bit lighter of an orange. So the peachy color corrector is usually used for darkness on fair skin. So if you have really light skin and you have like some darkness, maybe under your eyes, maybe discoloration, you definitely want to use a peach color corrector. And then you have a green one. So the green shade is usually for any type of redness on your skin, for any type of skin. So sometimes most people with sensitive skin usually get like redness around their skin. I know sometimes I do whenever I have a breakout, and if I have any redness on my skin, I would go in with a green color corrector. And then you have the orange one. So the orange one is usually used for darkness, for medium deep skin tones to dark skin tones. So like me, if I'm trying to color correct any discoloration like this right here, anything dark on my skin, even my under eye, I would go in with an orange color corrector because that is ideal for deeper skin tones. So in today's video, I'm going to be using this cream contour kit. So this is by Anastasia Beverly Hills. It is quite expensive. I don't know if they have this anymore, but I've always used this for color correcting and highlighting and contouring. I really love this palette. You don't have to use that palette. I definitely know LA Girl Pro Concealer has like all different shades for concealers. They got everything that you need, and they're only $4.99. So in this video, you can get the LA Girl Pro Concealers for $4.99 for each step that you need. I usually like concealers that have more so of a thicker consistency when I'm using it, and you want to use a concealer that is also a full coverage concealer just so that it can color correct and cancel out the darkness or the redness on your skin. And I also like using cream concealers because they don't move. So you want to place the concealer on there and go in with foundation, and you don't want the concealer to move while you're applying the foundation. So if if you go in with a lightweight concealer, when you're applying the foundation, it's going to move around, so it's not really going to specifically color correct that area that you want it to. That is why I love a cream contour kit. The LA Girl Pro Concealer is also a thick, full coverage concealer. So I'm gonna be using this orange shade right here because I am of a deeper skin tone and I'm just looking to correct the areas on my skin that are dark. I don't have any redness right now, so I'm not gonna go in with a green concealer. So what I like to do is I like to just tap on the product a little bit. You definitely want to start small and start slow and build up the coverage so you don't place too much, and then when you put on the foundation you can see the shade underneath the foundation. So what I like to do is I like to use my finger. I feel like if my finger can kind of like blend it really well. So I just use my ring finger and I kind of place it on the areas where I can kind of see the discoloration, which is typically usually under my eyes. And as you guys can see, my finger takes up very little of the product. You don't want to go in with too much. You can definitely use a damp beauty sponge to apply this. However, I like using my finger because it's easier for me to build up the coverage while doing this. So if you feel like you need more coverage, you can still see the darkness under your eyes, you can go in with more. As long as you're feeling satisfied with the coverage and you feel like you can't really see it anymore. And then no need to place it on my eyelid because I usually apply concealer on my eyelid anyway, and I'm gonna go in with eyeshadow, so there's no point of me color correcting that area. So another area that I like to color correct is around my mouth area. I don't know if you guys can see, but I have darkness around here. It kind of looks like I have a beard. And then up right here where it kind of looks like I have a mustache, I like color correcting around that area. So I'm just gonna place a little bit with my finger as well and just kind of blend it out. You want to do this only until the darkness is canceled out. You don't want to put too much until where it looks orange. You know what I mean? You just want to cancel out the darkness. And then you can go ahead and color correct other areas. Like I have a little bit of like a dark mark right there. Some of these are natural, so I don't want to really color correct the ones that are natural. Like for instance, this right here is natural. I was born with it, so I don't really want to take that away. However, this right here is a dark mark, so I'm just gonna place a little bit on there and blend it out. And then for some people who usually have like textured skin or acne around this area, you just want to place a little bit on top of that. It's not going to fully cover it. Sometimes it doesn't, but then it's just gonna cover up the majority of it. Alright, so once you've canceled out all the darkness on your skin, you want to go in with foundation. So I'm going to use a full coverage foundation, which is the Colourpop Pretty Fresh Foundation. This is in the shade 190W. So I'm just going to use about 1 pump of the foundation. I like using 1 pump for foundation and then building up the coverage so I don't apply too much. And then I'm going to go ahead and blend this out with the Beauty Blender. So like I mentioned earlier, the reason why I like creamy concealers for color correcting is because they dry down pretty fast, so you don't have to wait for them to dry down before applying foundation, and they're not necessarily going to move when you're applying the foundation. So as you guys can see, you don't really see that orangey shade on my skin. Everything is canceled out. I usually don't color correct, but the only reason why I'm doing it today in this video is for demonstration purposes for people who have discoloration. All right, so the next step when it comes to concealer is to actually conceal. This step is only if you're looking to just conceal under your eyes. You're not really necessarily looking to make your under eye like super bright or to like superly highlight under your eyes. So you want to definitely use a concealer that is maybe a couple of shades lighter, maybe like 1 or 2 shades lighter than your skin, but close to your skin. So the concealer I'm going to use is the Colourpop No Filter Concealer. So what I'm going to do is place it at the back of my hand because I don't want to go in with too much. So whenever you're trying to apply a very small amount of product, you just want to place it at the back of your hand. So the shade that I'm using of this concealer is Deep Dark 54, and I'm going to use a brush to apply this concealer. So what I like to do is I like to take a very small amount and kind of look down and apply this concealer only under my eye. Like I'm not bringing it all the way down here or anything like that. This is just to add a little little bit of highlight and to cancel out any discoloration. So you guys can see the concealer is a little bit lighter than my skin, almost like my skin color, but just lighter. So I like to bring this around my tear duct area where that darkness is. And then once I apply that, I'm gonna blend this out with a beauty sponge. You want to blend it out very slowly. You don't want to take away from the coverage of the concealer. So I just like to pat this in onto my skin. So make sure that when you're using your beauty sponge, you're cleaning it and it's damp to the point where it doesn't have water, but it feels wet. Alright, so as you guys can see, the darkness under my eye has been covered up. You don't really see any like dark areas on my eye. And this is only if you just want to apply a little bit of highlighter, but you don't want to go in with too much highlighter. And that's why I say that it's used to conceal rather than highlight. So if you feel comfortable with this type of concealer that is more so closer to your skin tone, you can just go in and set your skin and apply the concealer like on your T-zone area, down the bridge of your nose, on your cupid's bow, and on your chin. However, if you want to go to the next step of applying concealer and kind of give your skin that highlighted look, I usually do this when I'm going in with a full coverage makeup look. So the third way you can use concealer is to highlight. So if you're looking for like a highlighted makeup look to make your skin look a little bit more brighter, so with this you want to use a concealer that is 3 to 4 shades lighter than your skin. And then you also want to make sure that you're using a concealer that is of your undertone, because you want it to look like your skin but just like a little bit lighter. So you don't want to use one that's different from your undertone, because then it's gonna look a little bit off with your skin tone. So with this step, I like placing the concealer on the areas where you have that light reflection on your skin. So when you're taking a picture with flash, the light literally hits on your forehead area, it hits on your like your T-zone area, down the bridge of your nose, and on your chin area. So that's the place where light kind of like bounces off on your skin and gives it back to the world. But those are the areas where you want to highlight. So for highlighter, I'm going to use the LA Girl Pro Concealer. This one is in the shade Toffee. This one's like 5 to 6 shades lighter than my skin. For this type of concealer, I like using either a matte concealer or a satin finish concealer. So this one is kind of like more of like a matte formula. And the reason why I like those is because they're tacky, they don't really blend out too much. So with this, what I like to do is I like to bring it close to the bridge of my nose, kind of like half nostril, half on this nostril, and just place the concealer going outward. I don't really place a triangle on my T-zone area anymore. Like I don't bring it all the way down here, right there, just because I feel like it's not really necessary. So I like to just basically focus it on the inner portion, and then when I blend it out, I just kind of like blend it out and it kind of moves that way and diffuses very smoothly. And then also with this, I like to place it on my forehead area because light does reflect around that area. I like to place a small amount on my forehead area because I feel like if you place too much, sometimes it changes like your foundation color, and then you start looking like too light, and then it's like your makeup becomes like super bright, and you're just like, that's not your shade, girl. So on my chin area, I like to place a very small amount. And so what I do is I let this sit for like 2 minutes, and then I come back and blend it out just so that it can have that tackiness, and then when it blends out really smoothly. Alright, so now that the concealer has sat in for a little bit, I'm gonna use a beauty blender to blend this out. Of course, you want to use a clean beauty blender. This is the one I use for the foundation, but I'm using the side that I didn't use with any product. So I'm using a clean area on the beauty sponge, and I'm literally just tapping on it. I'm not even like blending it out completely. I'm just kind of like patting it and, you know, spreading it around. You definitely don't want to be swiping your concealer back and forth like that. Girl, it's gonna move your whole makeup and it's gonna look whack. You definitely just want to kind of like pat it on there. And then what you want to do is blend out your forehead the same way. Definitely don't blend it out all over your forehead. Kind of leave it around this area right here, kind of like in a semicircle type of look, just right where you can see the light reflecting on your forehead. And then your chin area, you definitely just kind of want to put a few taps on there. Kind of keep it a little bit above your lip. Don't bring it all the way down right here because it's gonna look artificial. And when you turn like this, you'll be able to kind of see like that concealer on your chin. And then you want to go back in with the foundation sponge to just kind of simmer down brightness. And then whatever is left on the sponge, this is totally optional, okay? I just love doing this because I feel like I have more of a structured cheekbone. So I kind of like to bring that feature back. So I'm just placing a little bit for reverse contour. Alright, so that is it for concealer. As far as concealer, those are like the 3 ways that you can use concealer on your skin. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna finish off the rest of my face and then I'll be back with the final look. Okay guys, so this is the final look of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope this video was helpful for those of you guys who really wanted to learn about concealer and the different types of uses that you can use concealer. I hope this video was helpful if you're looking to color correct, if you're looking to spot correct, or just conceal and highlight and you just didn't know where to start. So if you found this video helpful, please leave me a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and join the LJ family. Also hit the bell so you're always notified of a new upload. But other than that, I will see you guys in my next video.
KLJ, welcome to a channel where it's poppin'. You better subscribe, got it on lock, yeah. Got it on lock, yeah. We need more likes, more views, yeah. You can leave a comment too. Welcome to our YouTube. Welcome to our YouTube.